Hi guys, it's Lewis-duncan. I hope you're very well. So I filmed for about 8 minutes and then made a boo-boo by knocking over my camera. Silly goose. Yes, that's just me. I was talking about something really exciting, so I'm going to start again and keep on roll with it. I will apologise for some of the lighting because we are now at 2:10 in the afternoon, and obviously we all know we're in fall winter. It's a little bit darker outside, so I'm just going to try and keep it as bright as possible. So if we have a dip in light, I do apologise on that aspect. So I'm a massive fan of something I'm going to be talking about this afternoon. I think all my friends will know I'm somewhat of a handbag hoarder, or handbag habit is quite high. I do love handbags. It's, you know, some people love shoes, some people love watches. Handbags have always been my thing. I think it's something that was picked up from my nan and my grandmother. They had quite a lot, and my nan was amazing. She always used to have coats, bags and gloves all to match together, and when she passed away we just actually found gloves in her pockets of her coats and things. I just think it was really cute, so I think I picked up on that over the years. But I find bags, obviously they're practical in so many aspects, but yeah, there's something about them, and I really like to look after them. So I love a mix of high street, designer and vintage, so I have quite a mix of everything. If I like it, I like it. That's my rule. I don't think it's something that will work for everyone in terms of, you know, certain levels of bags don't always work for everyone, certain age groups. I have bags now that were left to me, and when I was younger, obviously they didn't work for me because they have different looks, whereas now I will wear them, and then some I've retired or given to charity because perhaps they don't work, or they're, you know, seasonal bags, certain prints or designs. I think some high-end designers, when they do their what was originally called it bags, I have a few of those from the past, and I don't tend to buy it bags anymore because I don't think it's necessarily a good idea, because they can be a hell of a lot of money, and then for that one season, and then if you're seen wearing it, you're like, oh, you're wearing that. And it's such a bizarre thing, because I think if you're going to spend money on a bag, you want to use it. So don't let people say that to you, let's be honest. If you want to use your bag, you use your bag. But I tend to kind of keep them for a little bit. I look after them, they go in the dust bags, and then I'll bring them out. Quite recently I brought out my Christian Dior saddle bag, which has been a really long time since I've used her, and it was really nice to use her again. So I just think if you want to go down that high-end line, personally I would now recommend buying more classic items, which I tend to do, and they're the bags I tend to use a lot. But sometimes it's really nice to have certain ones. But brands where they are beautifully made, British made, that give you a trend but that are not too expensive is really fantastic. So I'm going to be talking about a really great brand today. I'm going to pull up their Twitter just because I want to show you that first, and it's a nice way of following them. So we are talking Fred and Eve, and if you can see, if you want to follow them on Twitter, it's Fred and Eve, and the word, not the squiggle, because Twitter doesn't tend to let you do that. So these are the home of all the handbags, the best bags in the best styles, such as totes, hobos, stoppers and shoulders, or shoulder bag, or not technically a shoulder. And they are the home of Saint B, Truly Rocks and Fred and Eve. And there's no compromise, and they are a UK-based company, so it's really fantastic. They've got a really great Twitter feed for all their beautiful bags with fantastic linings and great designs. So some of them are more classic items, but with a pop of the colour inside. And then, as I mentioned, they do have some trend-led bags. So this is a really great way of buying into a brand that has wonderful technical ability and has great design, but giving you the fun aspect as well. So it's one of those ones where I think it's a lovely mix between high street designer and some vintage actually aspects. So the kind of some of the pieces they've picked of how to put them together, it kind of gives you that modern meets vintage effect. I really like it. Plus it comes in a dust bag, and I'm such a massive fan of dust bags. I know it sounds such a bizarre thing, but I think it gives you that sense of really beautiful luxury. It helps you look after your bags. So, you know, things like dust, obviously, but they make them last longer, they keep them more secure. I like to keep some of my bags padded as well. I know that's not necessarily always easy for other people depending on space aspect, but if you can perhaps tuck clutches and things into your large bags, it just kind of helps keep the shape a little bit better. and you know, the longevity of your bag, especially if you have spent a lot of money on it, you want to look after it. I really do recommend that. When you're not using bags, if you can give them a little shake, get all the tush out, get a little wipe down. You can get, for leathers, you can get leather wipes, but you can use baby wipes if you don't want to go down silly money on spending on things like that. Just make sure there's no alcohol in them, there's no extra scenting, just make sure they're quite delicate wipes, and then a little brush over the bag, and a little dry them off, let them dry, and then pop them back in the bags. It makes them last so much longer. So this is an absolutely huge dust bag, so you might be thinking, oh my gosh, how big is this bag is going to show, but it does fold over when your bag is in. So this is part of the line called Truly Rocks. So this is one of the 3 aspects that Fred and Eve do. I absolutely love the graphic, the sort of oh gosh, what do they call the writing when you do it on a computer? Font. I really like the sort of, obviously, the rock and roll aspect to it. So I think that's really, really gorgeous. It has the great drawstring, so you're going to really look after your bag. And as I said, I think that's such a wonderful touch, because, you know, a lot of brands, even if you spend a lot of money on them, they don't necessarily always come in the dust bag. And my personal opinion, I think it's such a good idea, whether you choose to constantly keep the bag inside, but having it alongside if you ever buy a high-end piece and then in years to come you want to sell it for whatever reason, it's so important to have things like that alongside it, because it does give you a much better way of selling it, and it's just a much nicer thing for you to keep your bag nice and tidy. So I'm going to show you the gorgeous bag here. So she is rather fabulous, I think. I'm a massive fan of sort of teal, aqua, Thornton and Mason, Tiffany blue. I think so many, pretty much all my friends will know I'm somewhat obsessed when it comes to aqua. A lot of my dressing room is in aqua, my phone case and my tablet case, and then anything I can get my mitts on, that's in this colour. I just think it works with so many skin tones. It works from my super fair all the way through to beautiful chocolate rich skins and everyone in between. It's one of those colours that's quite rare. Not all colours suit everyone, whereas some form of aqua would always suit everyone, and I think that's really lovely. This bag has a crocodile skin effect. If it was crocodile, one, it would be beyond obnoxiously expensive, and some people don't like skins for whatever reason, and that is something that we should all take into consideration. It's down to the individual, but there's, you know, expense. There is the cruelty aspect. Some particular crocodiles are endangered, so we don't want to go down that way. So, but again, up to your personal taste. But this is a great way of having the effect, but in a lightweight, because skins can be super heavy, whereas this is so incredibly lightweight. For such a large bag, it really is so light, and I have some bags that are smaller than this and weigh an absolute ton. I think there's something about some designer bags that weigh so much and you think, I've not put anything in it, but sometimes you also think, well, I spent a lot of money on this, I want to feel it, but it kind of has to have that that usability in my mind. And I have some bags that I absolutely adore to death. They're beautiful, but the second you put them on your shoulder, you don't want to use them, and then they get, you know, popped in the cupboard and don't get used as much. Whereas this one, it's really great because it is perfectly suitable to sit directly onto the shoulder. You're not going to feel it. You can put into the crook of your arm, or you can generally hold as a handbag. My hands are quite small, but I've got quite a big span, but it does sit in there nicely. It's not rubbing or anything, so if you do have quite small delicate hands, it's really good. And it's also malleable as well, so it's not too rigid, where again, if it would have been a skin, it wouldn't move as much, whereas this is kind of soft and squidgy, so it's really great. It has beautiful silver hardware, which, thank goodness. I know so many people are a fan of gold hardware, and if it suits you, amazing. So many high-end bags do use gold hardware, but it doesn't particularly suit my skin. It's not to say I don't wear gold hardware. I do have bags with gold hardware, sometimes I do, but personally I tend to wear silver metals a hell of a lot more. I just find them more flattering against my skin tone, so I'm really glad that this did come in that. I actually think it flatters the colour tone really well. Actually, I find it really great. That can be undone to adjust to whatever level. I do believe there are 1, 2, so there are 3 levels, so depending on your height, structure, or just where you like to hold your bag, you can do that. It also has great ring pulls which do undo. If I just turn that the right way round, so you could undo that and take off the handle if you so choose to, make it a very large clutch, or if you just want to take it off to clean it, or all sorts of reasons, whatever you choose to do that. But it generally has the most amazing Cadbury's chocolate, raisin, beautiful purple lining. I really, really liked the lining contrast. I think the colour cache is beautiful. I'm just going to try and get the logo up here. So it has the leathered tag here, still in the crocodile type effect, and it does say Truly Box. If I can get that to adjust. So exactly the same font as the dust bag itself. The pocket, the main pocket at the back, is also trimmed beautifully there. So this is giving a really great high-end effect, because you could have that on a really high-end bag. The stitching is perfect all the way around. It's double stitched, so it is really secure. A nice easy zip pull that you can get hold of in the silver metal, and it has the same lining as before, and it's that microfiber where it has the sheen, so it's going to be really practical in terms of if you are somewhat of a spiller like I am. It keeps your bag really, really neat, and it's super, super capacious inside, so you can see I can practically climb in there. I have a friend who's tiny, so she probably would fit in it easily. It has 2 pockets at the back, so one slightly larger pocket here, which I can get my phone hand in, and then the sort of traditional phone pocket on the other side. I have the Samsung Mini, and that does fit in the smaller pocket, so I don't know roughly how big the new iPhone is, but I think it might just fit. If not, it does have a large pocket, and I actually tend to use the large pocket and keep my phone that way and dip that in. I just think it doesn't fall around. It's also a little bit more secure if you tend to have your bag open. It's not so easy to dip in and grab if it's lying down. So it has, as I said, so the 3 pockets, the zippered pocket there. It will expand quite a lot. It's a nice thick bottom, and as you can see, it has the extra panel in the centre there just for the security of a bit more weight. It's piped really beautifully. It also has Truly Rocks, I want to say stamped into the leather, so it's embossed into the leather, which is a really nice touch. I actually find it really flattering, because obviously you want to know where the bag's from, but it's not too ostentatious, it's not overtly in your face. It has the great thick leather pull for closing up. It's a really great quality zip as well. So there she is. So I'm really looking forward to having her out and about and testing her out and seeing how she gets on. So do check them out on Twitter, and it's fredandeve.com as well if you want to have a look on their website for all the different colours and textures and designs they do. So thanks for joining me, guys, and I hope you'll see you soon. Bye!